What's up, and welcome to the Higher Self Wellness Podcast. My name's Alec, and if this is your first time here, a big warm welcome and a virtual hug to you. And if you're returning, welcome back. You can check out the website www.higherself.yoga and find blogs, articles, meditations, videos, ways to contact me, and yeah, check it out. Today, I got to have a fun conversation with a friend and fellow yoga teacher, Kristi Kuttner, down here in San Diego. She's a yin yoga teacher and a reiki practitioner and just a overall cool person. And you can check out her website, www.sittinprettystill.com. That is Sittin without the G, prettystill.com. And it's a company that builds meditation cushions and just really good quality candles made with great ingredients, no harmful chemicals. And the candles are cool because as they burn down and the wax evaporates or disappears or whatever happens to it as it burns, there's a cool affirmation on the inside of the label. So it's just a fun little reminder to, show up and take the time and enjoy the process of how life unfolds or how life evaporates. So our conversation today is fun. You can find out more about her at her website, sittinprettystill.com. You can catch up with her on social media. It is Sitin Pretty Kristi and also Sitin Pretty Still. So I hope you enjoy our conversation. And just super grateful for you being here, tuning in. So enjoy. So I'm super stoked to have you and just have a conversation about this stuff because we're just in alignment with a lot of the same thoughts, and it's energetically we are,
Yeah, we get the same jokes.
For sure. Same bad humor.
Same bad humor.
I love it. So I just wanted to start off by just having you talk a little bit about yourself, the brand that you started, and
Okay, cool.
just get it out there.
Well, I'm Kristi, and I'm the founder of Sitin Pretty Still, Sittin with no G, and I did that on purpose because I just feel like it flows better when you say it, and there's no other reason why. People are like, why isn't it sitting pretty still? And I'm like, because I like the way Sittin Pretty Still sounds. And I found I created it about 5 years ago. And it started, I started just making candles for, my mom was having allergic reactions to candles. And she couldn't even go into a room with a candle burning without her nose running, her eyes watering, just having these horrible reactions. And I'm like, that is so strange. And I had no idea that candles could be so toxic. And of course I burned Dollar Tree candles or whatever, just
seriously
candles all the time. And when I started researching it, I was shocked. It was horrifying. It's basically having a diesel truck in your living room.
Whoa.
Because they're using paraffin. So I started making, soy candles and with phthalate-free oils and just cotton wicks and better products. And she could sit in a room right next to one with no problem. So of course people were like, oh, I want one of those candles and I want one for my sister. And so it just escalated into kind of a little business. And it was, I named it Sitin Pretty Still, and I wanted it to be all these beautiful products and inspiration to ultimately carve out space for yourself to really embody self-care. And then it led into the candles were doing good, and then it led into meditation cushions. I was in the market for a meditation cushion and couldn't find one that was really pretty and that resonated with me. They were all kind of, browns or blues or reds, just plain, and weren't very comfortable. And so my friend's mom was a seamstress, and I had a pattern that I got, and I asked her if she could try to make it, and she did. And, then it turned into these beautiful fabrics, and people love them. People, now, we've created this small business that's thriving, and, that's kind of how it started, but it's always been so much more than a business to me. It's my purpose. It's like, when I think of what I want to do for my life, this is it. Like, I'm connected with people all over the world and inspiring them to take time to meditate, slow down, take baths, relax, take care of themselves. And it's just incredible. I'm very, very grateful. I have an incredible community that's built up, and everything you see in the business, it's from my heart. It's like the teal flowers and the corals and all the colors. It's just my creations, that have come to life, and it's really interesting, really cool to see.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I didn't know that about like candles. Like, I haven't burned candles in many years now, but I used to burn through so many candles, and I could only imagine like just letting them burn all night long, just breathing in those fumes. And
dude, it's horrible.
Wow,
it's horrible. And lead wicks they can't make candles with lead wicks here. Mm-hmm. But they can in China, and a lot of candles are imported, like, from the dollar store and stuff.
Yeah.
So not only they're paraffin, they're lead wicks, and it's really bad for your respiratory system in general.
Yeah.
And I grew up in Michigan, so you burn candles through the winter and all the windows are closed. And that's why you'll have like kind of a black soot around in the house from candles and that are made out of that stuff. So I've learned a lot from burning them and making them. And, it comes down to it's way more expensive to make a soy candle.
Totally. The
wax I use, the oil I use, the wicks, it's all the jars, it's all much more expensive. Mm-hmm. And, so it's hard because my candles are $30 a candle, but they burn for a lot longer and they're better quality. But people can get them for $4.99 if they're not educated on why they're not very good for you.
But they're also different because they're handmade with quality. They have the great affirmations on the inside.
Yeah, I put the affirmation on the inside.
And which I thought was really cool too, because you gifted me that candle, and halfway through I'm like, oh, sweet, look at that.
Yeah, and I feel like the reason I did that was because, and for people that have not burned a candle, I put secret positive messages in each one. So when it burns down, you get kind of like a little message, like a fortune cookie would be. And I do that because it burns slowly, so people have to burn it to get the message. So it kind of creates that practice of relaxation, and you keep coming back to it. And hopefully you're sitting down and relaxing while you're burning it.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yeah.
I love the whole idea behind your business, though, of just like giving people the tools and the inspiration to sit down and just relax. Like with the meditation cushions, it's like just have a damn seat and like take a breath, light your candle, and then just enjoy.
And I being very transparent and authentic, because I feel like all teachers should be that way. it comes from a place of me not being able to do that and not knowing how to do that and feeling guilty about sitting down or just not wanting to feel in general. And that leading into a lot of other stuff that I was going through healing wise. So Sitin Pretty Still kind of was created at a time when I was just beginning my healing journey. And it's been just as healing for me as other people that are experiencing it as well. So, and then not to mention, I love being an entrepreneur. I love putting out fires and learning every day and connecting with people like yourself and so many people just doing great things in the world. And it's my passion. I love it. I love that whole, not drive where it's like forcing and pushing, but just learning and experiencing the whole process and being a part of it instead of like getting drugged down by it and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Because there's a deeper level of contribution and a deeper level of impact, especially making products that really help people in their life, and being able to see that and to have that as like, I'm making these products and these are helping people, develop good practices about slowing down and taking the time to relax and meditate and just offer more self-care. Like it's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. It's so much deeper for me than about like numbers and the logistics, and it's my purpose. Like I'm dedicating my life to helping people slow down and bring this relaxation into their world, because we know the world needs it. So I've decided that this is what I'm gonna do.
Sweet. So yin yoga as well. I love going to your classes, and yin yoga is just another one of those opportunities to take a step back and slow down and feel the body and rest into your meditation, as in like just connecting with your body and connecting with the sensations. So what brought you to yin yoga versus like other styles?
Okay, so I actually have a funny story about this. So I did my yoga teacher training at Core Power Yoga, which is a power yoga. And it was simply because I started practicing there because it was the closest yoga studio to my house when I moved to San Diego. And it was like just when I was getting into yoga. I had done it before, but I loved it. I loved like the music there. I loved it. I had really good teachers, and it was an incredible training. And at the time, though, I was going through a lot of hormonal stuff. So I was just having, I was under a lot of stress. I didn't like my job. I was working like 10-hour days. And so power yoga wasn't the best. Heated power yoga wasn't the best for my hormones, especially not to do it every day. And I did the training, and so one of the things they kept saying to me when I would teach is, Kristi, you need to talk faster. You talk too slow. And I'm like, so I'm like trying to talk faster and trying to like, just be not me. And of course I didn't like teaching yoga, right? I was like, it was so exhausting for me because it just wasn't part of me to try to teach that way, this power core, and someone had recommended a yin class, and I wish I knew how I ended up there, but I went to the yin class, and I honestly never felt better in my life. Like, it was the best. I mean, my body, it was, it's like a 75-minute massage internally, and then mentally, you're like a meditation. So I was like, oh, wow, this is really something. And I'm like, I have to teach this. Like, this is me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, fortunately, one of my teachers did a Yinki training. So it's yin, reiki, and sound healing. And she's now moved to Costa Rica. But, and I couldn't afford it and didn't have the time and yada, yada, yada. And I did it anyway. So, and it's changed my life. And now that's all I teach. And I can go and not plan anything, and it just comes out of me. It's very natural for me. And that's why I love teaching it and connecting with people. And I love that other people love the classes.
Yeah. It's, I practice yin yoga more than I practice other styles of yoga. Mm-hmm. Just because it's that balance of, like, if your life is already stressful, mm-hmm. then you need to balance out the physical movements, and you don't want to overstress yourself with crazy exercises and pushing your body to that level
your
of
nervous
exhaustion.
System.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think it's great.
Mm-hmm.
I just love it. And not only just how it makes my body feel, but how it makes my mind feel. Mm-hmm. And it's like this, it's a practice where I can really go in there and really process and digest what's going on, because it's like it's like a direct confrontation with your mind and everything that's going on in there, because you're just resting in this pose for 5, 6, 7 minutes sometimes. And there's a lot of benefits to that. And I think, it's just a great way to find balance.
Yeah, and it's also, there's a lot happening when you're practicing with the joints and the ligaments, the fascia. And I didn't know this, but our fascia has 10 times the nerve endings as our muscles. And I just read that recently. But in the body releases hyaluronic acid when you have that compression and you're holding for that length of time. So there's a lot that's happening, because people often, when somebody comes to their first yin class, because you're just sitting, you're holding these poses for 3, 5, 6, 7 minutes, and you'll see people kind of fidgeting and like, oh, when is she gonna say come up, and it can feel boring, or like you are just sitting there, but there's a lot happening inside that we're not even aware of until after class, and then you're floating out and you're like, oh wow, yeah, that there's something to that, Mm-hmm. But I've had a lot of people who have cried in class, or feel really sad, or feel really happy and laugh, because emotions, I think we're so used to being distracted by our little pocket computers and TVs and all that stuff. You don't have to feel anymore. Mm-hmm. And when you're in the room and you're sitting there for 5 minutes with nothing to distract you, it can be hard. And I'm saying it from personal experience. I just did a yin class on Sunday that I took, and it was like, we were hyped up because we had a busy morning and all these great things, but it was really hard for me to just decompress and like find my breath and soften. And I wanted to move. And I was like, and then I let myself just marinate in the poses. And of course, once I was done, I was much more relaxed and chill. Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just taking time. Take a step back.
Mm-hmm.
Feel.
Yeah, feel with all of your senses. And mm-hmm. when I'm teaching, I'm reminding people, like, feel the temperature on your skin. Feel the clothing on your skin. Taste your mouth. Like, just find your breath. Listen to the sounds. Like, be in your body, because we're so distracted. We're so outside of our bodies all the time. And I didn't really start healing until I started asking myself, like, what do you need? What do you need in this moment? Because I was always, following a diet. I was just thinking of this the other day, how I would follow a diet and it was like eat every 3 hours and eat like, 10 almonds and like this, like the stupid diets from like a magazine, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how effed up is that? Like, I probably wasn't even hungry and I'm eating 10 almonds. Like, did I even want almonds? It's like how disconnected we are from what our intuition, like our bodies. Mm-hmm. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
So I didn't really start connecting, having that relationship with myself until I started practicing yin and meditating.
Wow. Yeah. And it's great too, because like similarly to me, like I picked up on what you said about we find something that we really need for ourselves, and then we are inspired to teach that to others. Mm-hmm. And that's been a huge part of my process as well, of being able to like just find that downtime and really embrace the downtime, and then embrace even the discomforts of mm-hmm. being in life, and whether it's in a pose or a situation, something like that, but just like really being with what's going on. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's what drew me to begin teaching yoga. I mean, who knows really, but to me it makes a lot of sense of like what we need ourselves, like we embody and we embrace it, and then it deepens it by helping others and by teaching others. Mm-hmm.
I love, like, all my teachers are very authentic in that, they were pretty fucked up at one point, like, can totally. I swear on here? I don't know.
Absolutely.
But, they went through shit, like, and they went through the process of finding their way out of that and learned certain techniques and healing modalities. And that's the teachers I resonate with, because, like, I feel like if you go to somebody and they're like, oh no, I never had any of that, like, you need to run, because that's not the teacher for you. Mm-hmm. I think you want somebody who's been through a similar situation and can honestly talk about it and be open about it and vulnerable about it.
Yeah. Because it also shows that they've gone through the process of healing it themselves and mm-hmm. are comfortable without having the very surfacey emotional triggers, mm-hmm. and just being able to genuinely like be there as a teacher to be like, this is my experience with this practice, this is how it helped me, maybe it can help you as well. And it's a very authentic way of teaching, like, hey, it worked for me, it might work for you. And
yeah,
if it doesn't,
or
then
even
someone else.
Not even saying like they have to do it, like they can just inspiring them to take their own journey in it, like they can do it totally differently, but they may be inspired by your story. And I think ultimately they need to find their own way.
Yeah.
You should never follow someone else's exact manuscript of how to heal yourself. I think it's really needs to be something you feel that comes from you, because we all grow up differently. We all have totally different backgrounds and beliefs, and so it's so much deeper than just eat every 3 hours and here, eat these almonds. It's like, no.
Yeah.
You need like to feel and experience that. I had a couple young girls in my class like a month ago, and at the end of the class they came up to me and they were like, she says, I just feel so sad and I don't know why, and like I don't know where this is coming from, and I'm like, okay, that feeling sad is okay, right? And she's like, no, I don't want to feel sad. I'm like, you need to feel sad sometimes, because that's how you feel happy. Like, you have to have that balance, and don't block yourself from feeling sad. There's something that needs to come out. And this type of work, this type of yoga or meditation can bring it out, because you're sitting with that instead of moving your body fast and warrior two and reverse warrior. I mean, you can distract yourself with that just as easily as you can with YouTube and anything else,
Yeah, totally. So I really like how you bring in Reiki into this practice as well, to help move energy and to help release the stagnations that are in people's bodies stored, whether it's emotional or physical, or they both are very complementary to each other, because it takes like being able to, what helps being able to feel more, like when you connect to the movement of the energy, and then over time being able to direct the energy in different ways intentionally. So did you learn Reiki, I guess, before Yin Yoga, or during or after?
Right about the same time, but so I've been a dental hygienist for, did you know that?
No.
Oh yeah. So I've been a dental hygienist. This year's 18 years.
Whoa.
So I've probably been doing Reiki for years and years and not even aware of it, because when I started cleaning teeth, I noticed I could feel people's pain into my hands, like almost like a shock. And, I was living in Michigan. That's where I grew up, outside of Detroit. Like, I asked a couple of the people I think that I worked with, maybe, or I had friends that were hygienists, and I told them about it, and they were like, "You're crazy," nobody talked about that kind of stuff there.
Yeah, totally.
And I didn't know what it was. Like, I just knew that I could feel that. And so when I heard about what Reiki was, I was like, oh, I wonder if that is what I'm feeling, or where that's coming from. And still to this day, because I've done Reiki level 1, Reiki level 2, and Reiki master, and throughout all of them, I have always, like, some people see colors or visuals, and mine is very tactile, or like that, like physical experience, sensation. So yeah, that's what it was. So, but I did my Reiki training about the same time as the Yin training, and then I've been using it every day since, and it's changed my life completely, because it's a hands-on healing modality, but it's also, there's so much more to it than that. It's a lifestyle. There's principles you live by, and the man that created it from Japan, I mean, he ultimately created it so it is a very fast way you can come back to your spirituality. It's not a religion, but it's just a way to connect to yourself and feel that grounding, or that safety, comfort, ease, and offering that to other people. And situations, animals, people laugh. I Reiki my bank account, and my cat, my husband, my house, myself, and I do Reiki sessions on people, and then in class. But yeah, I mean, it's a powerful thing to offer yourself and others. And it's cool because Reiki level 1 is all about self-Reiki. So you take that 21 days between Reiki level 1 and Reiki level 2 to just do self-Reiki on yourself. And you don't do it on any other people. And I think that's such a good thing to live by, because you have to take care of yourself. Otherwise, you can't take care of anyone else.
Yeah.
You're going to get burnout, tired, resentful, all the things that come along with, overdoing it and not taking your rest.
Totally. it's like hygiene. It's like energetic hygiene.
Mm-hmm.
And we're taught growing up to have like good physical hygiene, wear deodorant, brush our teeth and stuff like that, but we're not taught how to like recharge ourselves energetically and how to really cut those energetic ties from all the experiences that we're going through and situations we find ourselves in. And that's what I really love about Reiki and also about Yin Yoga, is you take the time to like really go into your body and feel and just disconnect everything and fully just like experience and just reconnect with yourself. And
and
it's awesome.
I mean, it's so important, and I think we're reaching a point where it's more important than ever, and that's only going to get worse. Like, the more things we have to draw us away from ourselves, the harder it is to do a practice like that. And I speak from experience, because sometimes I'm like, man, I want to just, I want to do a power heated yoga, and like, that's okay, but is that what my body needs? Mm-hmm. And it's that relationship of honoring what I need and not like, comparing myself. Well, she's doing it every day, I should be doing that every day. Yeah. Well, maybe she's in a different place than you. And I'm pretty mindful, and I even do that. So I think it's important for our younger generation that's coming up to be taught these skills. I mean, I never really, I didn't start doing yoga till I was 28, I think 27 years old. I wish I would have started before then. Oh my God. But I had no idea how to relax. I had so much anxiety and depression and like just the self-talk. Oh, terrible. And my body, that's what I was saying about the hormones, is I think that it reached a point where it was like, we're going to start just messing you up because you need to chill out. And I'm really glad that I transitioned into a different lifestyle when I did, because I would have probably ended up with, who knows, Yeah. I mean, you that's how disease starts, right? It's you have all these symptoms beforehand that you push through and drink coffee over and drink wine over and everything else. And I really needed to speak to myself nicer, take naps, and do less. And I was doing the total opposite of that. I was like, what else can I do? I need to work out more. I need to eat less. I need to sign up for this class. I need, like, just way, way, way overdoing it. And, I found that once I started retracting and slowing down, that's when I started to feel alive again and just feel with all my senses and just feel alive and healthy and happy, and that's what we want to feel.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's like slowing down so the body can catch back up, and then like everything can just kind of catch back up, so you just reach that nice homeostasis, and then everything is just like, okay, everything's a little more balanced now, a little bit more easy.
Yeah, but it's not easy. It's hard.
Totally.
And every day, part of my practice now is asking myself a lot of times a day, what do you need right now? Do you need something to eat? Do you need to sit down? Do you need to go for a walk? Do you need, to push harder and get up and do something? Or do you need to draw back? And it's a everyday practice. It's not something that I'm like, I don't have to do it anymore. My hormones are fine now. Like, no, I'm in this for forever.
Yeah.
But it's a priority to me, and I have a lot of non-negotiables now that before I would have just said yes to everything, and then been like crying because I'm so tired and
completely depleted.
Yeah.
So so coming back to this practices each day really facilitates just connecting to your intuition, and that's a practice in itself of just even showing up and being open to ask those questions for yourself of like, okay, what do I need? Do I need to take a few minutes just to like sit and be and feel? And yeah, I love it. It's a never-ending, ever evolving practice that I guess it feels like once you start it, you just keep going deeper and deeper into it, and it evolves as we evolve through life, and like our identity is constantly evolving, as are our practices and our rituals and our self-care techniques and all of that stuff. And so like, what would you say would be, let's say somebody has like no idea about like, oh my gosh, I just feel like I'm all over the place, right? Like what would be, let's say, what would be like 2 things someone could invite into their day if they're feeling just like overwhelmed, if they're feeling stressed out from work, or even just tired from excessive exercising, or just overwhelmed in general?
Well, first of all, I would give them credit for awareness of it. Like you're already on your way because you've actually taken time to understand that this isn't how you want to be. But I think people way overcomplicate things. Like meditation is not, you're never going to stop your thoughts until you're dead. And and from what we hear, you don't even stop them then. You live on. But don't try to like fight yourself and think that you have to like sit in this position and you have to stop your thoughts. It's literally like just sit down and breathe. And every time your mind goes and wanders, take a deep breath. Come back to your breath. And that's meditation. It can be 1 minute, it can be 20 minutes, doesn't matter. But it is hugely, hugely impactful. And I meditate every morning, but I also meditate. I know now when I feel my nervous system going into that mode, and I'll stop and I'll take some deep breaths. I'm in my car sometimes, I'm taking some deep breaths, and that's all it takes. It's you don't have to overcomplicate it. I think I love the insight timer guided meditations.
Yeah.
In fact, I do want to get on there. But there's a woman on there, her name's Sarah Blondin. I don't know if you've heard any of her meditations, but they're very poetic and they are so beautiful. But insight timer, do a 5, 10, 15 minute guided meditation. Easy. But I feel like there should be some silence as well at some point. But if you're just getting started and it's hard for you to sit down, guided meditations can be really great. And then the other thing would be an activity that you really, really love doing. Do that. And for me, I love painting. I love yoga. I love just going for a walk. And they don't really, it's not going to burn a ton of calories, or, it may be a 20-minute block or something, but I always 110% feel better after I do something like that, even if it's 20 minutes. And it's about the nervous system, because I think someone who's in that state of all over the place and, crazy thoughts and feeling anxious, it's the nervous system, and our bodies are in that sympathetic nervous system for so much of the day, and it's not good. It's bad for the body to not have some parasympathetic, the rest and digest in our day. And usually you can get there pretty easily, like by just laying down on the floor. It's 5 minutes and you will feel differently.
Yeah.
So then you add that to a 75-minute yoga class with some soft music and a teacher doing reiki on you. You're feeling pretty good after.
Yeah, exactly. No, I love that. It's all about the nervous system to find balance, and it's so easy in our day to just get stimulated and and then stuck in that reactive state, and long-term effects of that, it just affects our hormones, it affects our digestive system, our entire metabolism, how we are able to think clearly, and
or it affects your brain waves, so it's hard to be creative. You literally, it's almost impossible to be creative in a sympathetic, not impossible, I take that back, but if you give yourself the space to be in that parasympathetic, you are changing your brain waves into that more alpha, theta, so you're in that creative zone and more chill zone. You can sleep better, you can relax, have sex, eat, like all that kind of stuff. You need to be in that to really enjoy those experiences.
Totally. Yeah. No, that's huge. I love that.
Yeah, so those are all my passions, and I love now Sittin Pretty Still the brand has kind of evolved into all of that. I've been able to bring all of that into it and just inspire people to practice self-care more, whatever that means for them.
That's cool. I love that. Like self-care, it includes everything from how you're exercising to how you're feeding yourself to the information you're even taking in. It's like being mindful and being careful of all of that stuff, like how you're spending your energy, and then also how are you taking the time to relax and really rejuvenate yourself and restore your energy. And you're making great tools for people to do that. A nice soft cushion for people to sit on, and a candle for people to have as a reminder to take time and light the candle and relax. And maybe I sit next to the bathtub and take a long bath and just float. And I haven't had a bathtub in a couple of years now, and I miss it. I wish I had one.
Are there like blow up ones?
There are. I've actually looked into it, but then I'm like, where do I put it?
I would have to get one.
And then what if it leaks and then my whole living room is filled up with water? So I'm like, probably do it outside. That'd be nice, a little outside bathtub.
Yeah, we're coming into the summer months.
Yeah, under the stars.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, cool. Anything else? Anything else you have to say, just on your topic, or maybe where people can find you online?
Yeah, they can find me on Instagram mostly at Sitin Pretty Still, and I'm Sitin Pretty Kristi, so I have 2 accounts. Sitin Pretty Still is more about cushions and inspiration, and Sitin Pretty Kristi is, all my fun stuff. You'll see a lot of what I'm eating and what I'm up to. And I am on Facebook as well as Kristi Kuttner. And my website is sittinprettystill.com, so Sittin with no G. And I love, this is what I love to do, and I love connecting with people, and I love helping people through transitions like this, because I've been through a lot, and anything I can do to ripple that energy out is my purpose. So
beautiful.
See how slow I talk? No. Talk faster, Kristi.
No, it's great. Awesome. Well, yeah, thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, I'm also connected to you because I love your classes as well. And
thanks.
Your vibe is awesome, and that slow flow, I love it. So
yeah.
It's almost like yin meets vinyasa.
It's like the activated yin.
Yeah.
The inner yin qualities with muscle activation.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, yeah, thank you for the kind words.
Yeah.
And thanks for taking the time to be here.
Yes.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that conversation. And if you did, then share this episode with somebody who you think may find it insightful or inspiring, or could just, use the information and the simple practices that are explained here. And again, thank you for taking the time to listen. And if you would like to show some gratitude back, then you can share it. You can submit a review. And check out the website, www.higherself.yoga. You can check out Kristi's website, sittinprettystill.com. And most importantly, just a big thank you. And hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.